Gates of Heaven is a 1200-kilometer LRN organized by Bangalore Randonneurs. The ride is a roller coaster ride across the Western Ghats. The route has climbs on the colossal hills, deadly rolling terrain, and passes through Chikmagaluru, Dakshina Kannada, Hassan, and Kodagu districts of Karnataka. The route has an overall elevation gain of approximately 14,000 meters. The daytime temperatures vary between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, and the night temperatures can drop to 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. The ride passes through reserve forests and gives the opportunity to experience nature at its best.
What's happening? Some crazy bunch of guys going for a 1200 kilometers ride.
We have one of the biggest randonneuring events in India. It's called Gates of Heaven. It's a small 1200 kilometers ride. And what's really exciting is not only the distance, but we have a lot of cyclists from across the country coming in today. It's pretty much the cream of the endurance cycling crowd. We do something called the start line support. We basically come to community-run events, and we provide event support so that people can ride safe for the event.
Rides like this, right? Just keep riding as much as possible without brakes for the first 24 hours.
I think Geo is the toughest LRM in India. It's got the highest elevation as far as I'm aware. So it's going to be really challenging. I have all my fingers crossed.
The last edition of 2018 of Gates of Heaven had 50 riders, and if you want to know, only the one rider who finished was Monish. All who don't know, Srini is here. Srini is the first Indian to finish the run. This is going to be a memorable ride. Don't give up, hang in there. You will definitely make it. I wish everybody finishes safe and sound, and your buddies will be buddies for lifetime. Wish everyone all the best. Ride safe and strong.
The ride was flagged off at 4:15 p.m. 58 riders have started the ride, which includes 2 female riders. The next control is at Mayura Hotel, Belloor Cross, which is 107 kilometers away. The ride is mostly on the national highway, and the riders will have to navigate the traffic and the roadwork in progress. The terrain is mostly downhill, weather conditions will be pleasant, and the riders can create a buffer by the time they reach the control.
Keep on rubbing.
All the riders have checked into the control and have had their food and are now back on the road. 115 kilometers to get to the next control at Yogish Farms, Matighatta. 50 kilometers will be on the national highway, after which the riders get onto the state highway. The state highway is relatively empty, will have rolling terrain, and should be a pleasant ride to get to the control, except for the roadworks which are in progress.
view, huh?
Yeah. You can hold.
Safe, huh?
Nice.
Right. Right safe. Right safe.
220 kilometers are done, and all the riders have checked in at the control. Riders have eaten, rested, and few have taken power naps. Riders are now headed to Mulayangiri as the night temperature dips. The riders will be tested as they have to keep sleep at bay, ride in cold conditions, and get past the Lingadahalli climb. The gaps between the riders is wide, and riders are expected to reach Mulayangiri between daybreak and early afternoon. After getting past the Lingadahalli climb during the night and early hours of the morning, riders are going to face another test as they climb to the Mulayangiri peak, which is the highest peak in Karnataka. The riders have a long climb to get to the top, which includes a steep last kilometer with gradient being over 15% and a strong headwind to contend with, which makes this a very tough climb to summit. All the riders have made it to the control. Riders now go for a roller coaster ride where they descend, climb, descend, and then climb to Baba Budangiri peak. A gradual gradient climb with exquisite scenery. However, most of the riders will be doing this in peak heat conditions.
You took a photo at the top, right? Tomorrow's ride will be difficult. Because of elevation and temperature? Fatigue. Okay.
The riders head down to Chikmagaluru, where the control is set up at Javed Parvez's residence, an avid cyclist gracious enough to provide refreshments and place to rest for the riders on this arduous ride.
We are at around course 29. Doing good so far. Rolling or climb? 100 meters climb.
Two riders have called off their ride at this point. The remaining riders are going to experience a roller coaster ride through the Western Ghats, 130 kilometers to the next control at Hotel Sita Nadi, which is after the riders descend the Agumbe Ghat. Riders have had dinner, rested a little, and will now ride towards Karkala. 80 kilometers to get to the next control, with a secret control at White Lotus, Udupi, where the riders will be provided light refreshments. Riders will fight sleep deprivation through this section, as they will have to navigate the narrow, lonely lanes of the coastal towns and reach the next control in the early hours of the day.
You have not given her. I'll give you the rooms in a minute. Just in a minute.
Done, I can take that.
Hi Shiva. What's up?
For now, I am up. I don't know till what time I'll be up.
Okay. What time is it?
5:45 a.m.
Okay. How many riders have checked in?
Checked in. Let me calculate. 26 riders till now.
Okay. That's great.
So we have another 28 riders, 29 riders to come. So the riders who came in early are leaving now. They're gonna conquer Charmadi Ghat. Let's see how it goes. Right safe. Bye bye.
The control at 570 kilometers, which was the first drop bag location, was in a sense the breaking point for many riders. We had 12 riders calling off their ride here. The remaining riders have rested and start afresh on the second half of the ride. Around 40 hours have lapsed and the riders have 630 kilometers remaining and around 50 hours to complete the ride.
I'm right now here in Bantwal. It's a selfie point. Actually, the selfie point, Bank of Baroda, is demolished, so I'm helping out here for the riders. From morning, like 4:30, I'm waiting here, and the first rider at 6:15, he's passed. As of now, 4 guys moved past this point, so I'm waiting for the upcoming guys.
Orange shirt, Chicky. Chicky. Riding well.
Subhavan.
Morning. சூப்பரா இருக்கா? ஜூஸ் வேணுமா? போடு. சாப்பிட்டீங்களா?
சாப்பிட்டேன்.
என்ன சாப்பிட்டீங்க?
இட்லி.
எவ்வளோ இட்லி சாப்பிட்டீங்க?
இட்லி காஃபியா?
எங்கே? அங்கே. டயரெல்லாம் வேண்டாம். எவ்வளோ ஸ்மெல்? ரொம்ப வெயிட் ஆயிடுச்சு.
ஸ்மோக் எல்லாமே இருக்கு. தெரியுமில்ல? ரெண்டாவது வாட்டி தானே?
Said a few words in English.
Oh. No words. So challenging.
It's another day of significant climbing as the riders will have to climb from the coast, and it starts with a 25-kilometer ascent of the Charmadi Ghat, a gradual gradient climb which is steep in few sections which will have to be climbed in hot conditions. What follows the climb is a descent and rolling terrain to reach the control at Ane Mahal.
Doing well. Take lesser breaks. Keep riding more.
Okay. See, rain. And this nail is also becoming some different color.
Almost done. So gradual rate to begin.
I'm planning to be by 10 or 11 if possible. Then we'll take some 2 or 3 hours sleep and we'll start from there itself. Okay. That's the plan. I don't know how it goes. Thanks for this tip. It is very good. Yesterday I was suffering like anything because of this. Pinching.
Yeah.
ಸೊ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕುಡಿತೀನಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ
ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತೆ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಹೌದಾ ಒಬ್ಬಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ
ಥಮ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಇದೆ
ಬಂದ್ ಬ್ರೋ
ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇಳಿಯೋದು ಇನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಇನ್ನು ಇಳಿಯೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ತಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಬಟ್ ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಇದೆ ಫಾಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಬೇಕಾ
2 more riders have called off their ride, which takes the toll for the ride to 16. We have 42 riders on the road, and the gap between the riders is wide. The riders have eaten and start on a relatively tough section as they will encounter steep rolling terrain in low visibility.
வாங்கி போடுங்க இடம் இருந்தா வண்டிக்குள்ள
இல்ல இடம் இல்ல வேணாம்
கொடுங்க கொடு
நீ வச்சுங்க உங்ககிட்ட இருந்து வாங்கிக்கிறேன்
ஒண்ணு இருக்காது இந்த ரூட்ல
அப்படியா
இருக்கிறது வாங்கி பாயில போடுங்க
நாங்க போய் இருக்கோம்
பிளாக்ல தான் வாங்கணும்
curd rice curd rice we shall give curd rice at Somarpet.
Thank you so much. இதுதான் நைட்டுக்கு போட் மறுக்கு மணி போவாங்க
இன்னும் ஓவர் கிளைம் இல்ல ரோலிங்
Extreme rolling.
ஃபுல் ஆன் ரோலிங்
Extreme.
ஸ்ட்ரீம்ஸ் ஆஃப் ரோலிங் டைட் போட்டு முடியல
பார்த்து ஓட்டுங்க.
Every rider goes through a lot of emotions and thoughts, positive and negative. One negative emotion or negative thought can overpower all the positives, which is the breaking point for the rider. The ride, more often than not, is completed by the ones who focus on the positives. It is this battle that the rider has to fight and come through to be able to complete a ride of this magnitude.
ஐயோ பயங்கரம் இது வரைக்கும் அது மாதிரி பார்த்ததே இல்லை இல்ல நார்மல் ஹில் மாதிரி இருந்தா ஓகே இது வந்துட்டு ஹில் மேல இப்படியே வச்சிருக்காங்க they didn't lay the road they just put the road on over the hill itself bike also right they are riding like this even if you completely apply the brake also it is keep going come on
தெய்வமே தெய்வமே நன்றி சொல்வேன்
Water is that? I'll bring. Bye.
hand, anybody at that. Take one selfie here. Okay, Bill Karen. All the best.
900 kilometers are done and just 300 kilometers remain. The terrain is relatively easy and the riders can lose focus and the ride could slip away. The riders have to stay focused, keep sleep at bay and ride in hot conditions to be able to complete the ride in time. Six more riders have called off their ride. 36 riders are on the road with less than 24 hours to get to the finish line. The riders have rested, eaten and freshened up at the Kushalnagar control, which was a second drop bag location. The Western Ghats have been crossed. However, the terrain continues to roll as the riders look to make up for the time lost in the hills. The route is relatively easy as the tough sections have been completed. However, fatigue will play a big role in whether the riders complete the ride in time or not. The riders will still have to brave through one more night of riding and keep sleep at bay to get to the finish line.
So how was your experience in GOH?
It was fantastic experience. Totally drenching, but totally worth it. Any amount of planning is still going to surprise you.
I did the 1200 a few months back, but this was next level.
Compared to the roads, compared to the climate, everything is fully challenging actually.
One of the most adventurous and hectic ride. Never ending rolling terrains. Just awesome. Just awesome.
The kind of profile elevation that it held, I don't think I've seen it anywhere in other hills.
It was climbs after climbs and just climbs.
The climbs going back to back was kind of hard.
I'll remember this for long, for the kind of climbs it gave. With every climb we would feel very happy, but then we used to get on one more peak from there.
Everybody believed the hills could be a challenging one, but never felt that the small climbs like the Kruti Grama would be a quite challenging one.
ಜನ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ GOH ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಹುಚ್ಚಿಡ್ಸಿದೆ ಈ GOH ಅನ್ನೋದು.
Would you ride GOH in the next edition as well?
Yeah, sure.